Hey, what's up guys, it's Jonathan here. So when you become a teenager, the world of personal finance can be a very confusing place. And you probably just started your journey on learning how to manage your money. And when it comes to managing your money, one of the most confusing decisions to make is determining the proper place to store your money. So in this video, we're going to discuss the 5 best banks to keep your money in as a teenager. And this applies whether you're in high school or you're in college or you're out in the work field. So let's get right into the video. But before we do, if this video provides you any value, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe button. It greatly helps out the channel and helps push this video out to as many people as possible. So let's get right into it. So bank number 5 on my list is Ally Bank. Ally Bank was one of the first banks to run a completely 100% online only operation. And because they don't have to deal with the costly overhead of running branches all over the nation, they are able to pass down some of those savings to you as a consumer. So some of the pros with Ally Bank is that they charge you 0 fees on their check-ins and savings account. So whether you're in school or not, there's no monthly maintenance fees for any of their accounts. And like I said before, because Ally Bank doesn't run any costly branches, they're able to pay out significantly higher rates on their savings account versus a normal brick and mortar bank like Chase or Bank of America. And at the time of this recording, they offer a 0.5% interest rate, while most brick and mortar banks are only paying you a 0.01% interest rate. And I know that 0.5% doesn't seem like a lot. Given the economic environment that we're currently in right now with record low interest rates, it does make sense why these savings accounts are paying so little. It's also another reason why you need to invest your money. Another awesome feature of Ally is that they actually allow you to make savings buckets within your savings account. And this is a really awesome feature because what I used to do is I would have to open up a savings account for every sinking fund I had. But now since they have this bucket feature, you can actually just have one savings account and allocate your money to these different buckets, making your life a lot easier from an accountant standpoint. But with the good that comes with Ally Bank, there's also the negatives as well. For starters, you have to be at least 18 years old to open an account with them. And typically with most banks, you can usually open a joint account with your parents, but Ally actually doesn't allow you to do this. So this bank isn't really the best for anyone who's 17 or younger. Also, another con with Ally Bank is that there's no brick or mortar locations, which can make getting certain banking services done very complicated. So for me, I like to use Ally for my long-term savings. Anything like an emergency fund or a sinking fund that I don't plan to use for a while, that's usually where I like to keep it. But as a daily driver bank, this isn't my favorite. I don't really use the check-in services that they have there. So the 4th bank on my list is Bank of America. And one of the great things about Bank of America is the 3rd biggest bank in the nation in terms of number of branch locations, which makes it a really good choice if you're a teenager and you're in college and you're constantly traveling from one part of the country to another part. Another great thing about Bank of America is that they offer free check-ins accounts for college and high school students. And this is a really good feature because as a student, there may be times where you have to completely draw down your bank account. It's really nice to have a bank account where you don't have to worry about having a minimum amount of money in the account for you to not get charged a fee. Even though there are some goods about this bank, there's also some downfalls with it as well. So with Bank of America, the biggest downfall with them, at least in my experience, is that they could take a very long time to clear deposits with them. So back when I was in college, I did have a Bank of America account. And I remember one time I tried to cash in a check, and it took Bank of America almost 3 weeks for that check to finally post onto my account. And unfortunately, I was a little too naive and I didn't check up on the status of the deposit. So I ended up overdrawing my account and I think I collected like almost $100 in overdraft fees. So if you do decide to go with this bank, just remember that and realize that you may want to keep a good chunk of money in that account. Like if that account's going to be your day-to-day account, in my opinion, you want to keep a good amount of money in there just in case one of your deposits don't go through. So the 3rd bank on my list is actually not one particular bank, but it's a group of banks, and it's your local credit union. A credit union is a nonprofit organization that operates like a bank, but is member owned. Because it's owned by the members and not shareholders, these banks can give lower rates on loans and higher rates on savings accounts than your typical brick and mortar bank. So in the past, most of these credit unions required you to be part of some organization, like you're part of a certain union or part of the military or something like that. But nowadays, a lot of these credit unions are opening their doors up to the public. Even though most credit unions are local, most credit unions have networks where you can actually get banking services from a different credit union within your network. So this can be really good if you travel on the occasion and you need to get some basic banking stuff done while you're on the road. Most credit unions usually don't have any monthly maintenance fees, but some do require you to pay a small one-time fee when you sign up for the account. Well, I know for my local credit union, they charged me $5 to open my account. Compared to all the interest and discounts on loan rates that I got from them, that $5 was definitely worth it. So bank number 2 on my list is USAA. USAA is a bank that was founded in 1922 by 25 Army officers who wanted to insure each other's cars. Ever since then, they focused their operations around service members and their immediate families. And USAA is known for having some of the most competitive loan and insurance rates out there in the market, on top of having no monthly service fees on their check-ins and savings account. So if you are eligible for USAA, I highly recommend you sign up for a membership, even if you don't want to make it your day-to-day bank. Because in the future, you may want to get car insurance or home insurance or some product like that, and USAA might give you the best rate. So if you're eligible for a USAA membership, you should definitely try to sign up for it. So the number 1 bank on my list is Chase Bank. Like all of the other banks I've mentioned so far, Chase offers free check-ins and savings accounts for high school and college students. But they take it a step further, and they also offer free savings accounts for kids as young as 6 years old. So this bank can really be a lifelong bank for you. Also, in my personal experience, I've been with Chase almost my entire banking life, and I've never had any issues with their services before. I never gotten any random fees or had my deposits held for a ridiculously long amount of time. Another thing I like about Chase as well is that their entire financial ecosystem is much better than a lot of the banks I've already mentioned. Chase has some of the best credit card products for a bank compared to the other banks that I've mentioned in this video. When it comes to selecting a bank, remember you don't only have to choose one bank. You can have multiple bank accounts with different banks if you choose to. I remember when I was in college, I had free bank accounts that I used. One was for my day-to-day banking at school. On campus, we had the ATM for only one bank, so it just made sense to get an account for that bank. Then I had another bank account with a different bank that I used for my savings, and that's mostly because it had higher interest rates. And on top of those 2 accounts, I had another account that I used when I went back home. And I did this mostly because the two other banks I was using didn't have brick and mortar locations at home. So I decided that I would just have a completely separate bank account for only when I go home. And for me, I liked having 3 different accounts with 3 different banks. I was less likely to spend it compared to as if all that money was in my main check-ins account. But for some, I can see how this can be confusing. Ultimately, how many bank accounts you have is up to you. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button for your YouTube algorithm. It greatly helps out the channel, helps push this video out to as many people as possible. Also, if you like my perspectives and the way I explain things, consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys. What bank is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, follow me on all my social medias. I try to post there every day. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.